is we'll set up a
Okay, there we go.
profile. Okay, it's just going to be a kind of a mock one. We'll probably just use you, and I'll just sort of show you how that works. So we'll do that.
Okay.
Hopefully we'll do the campaigns. I don't want to like overpower you. I have so many things. It's so
I
freaking
know.
brutal.
It's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
like
oh my
if
God.
you like, I just did one for one of our people and set the whole text blast up, and you
Mhm.
have to have like all the timing has to be exactly right, or else it gets totally screwed up when then the first text doesn't go out. So
Gotcha.
trying to figure, there's so many little details, but once it's dialed in, it is pretty awesome.
Okay.
So basically what you're going to do is you're going to come to this page, the opening page, you're going to hit settings.
Mhm.
Then we're going to go to my staff. Okay. And then once it kicks in, you're going to add an employee,
Okay.
user information. So basically you're going to put in what you have to have is you have to have a name and an email. So the email, they have to have an email, whatever it is.
Mhm.
You know, we could just make one up.
Okay.
Okay, and the phone number doesn't really matter. It should be their phone number,
Okay.
but because then it'll forward when we do the calls later on. The calls will forward to their cell phone. So the password has to be. So I have the same password for all my team members, just so because I'm
Right.
horrible at passwords, you know.
Mhm.
So, but it has to have a capital. I think it says it all here. It has to have a capital, 8-letter or whatever it is, like 7 letters, a number, and then one of the like a dollar. So like my password is big checks $1 $.
Okay.
So that would work. Is that right? If checks.
Okay.
Okay, so that's that. That's basically it. Okay, so then what's going to come down here? So this, some of this part is, I'm still, use my ex-wife's phone number. Get all she can get all the phone calls.
Right. There you go.
Okay, so user permissions. So basically, if they're just in user mode, and so the user roles. Ideally, what we want to do is we just want to have them be a user.
Mhm.
So like I'm on your guys' thing right now, and I'm an admin on your thing, just so that I can go in there and fix stuff if we need it.
Right.
So if you have whose ever profile, it should just be user. But okay, so in this section right here, you're going to go to call and voicemail settings. So we have to go back to one thing. This is probably the first thing you should do, is this thing that I'm just about to do, and that's to get a new phone number. Okay, and so basically how you do that is you go to phone numbers over here. They take you to this page. And you're going to go add a new number right here. Okay, and then you'll just put in the area code. So let's just say if I do 107, search, and then you can just pick a number. Because each person has to have a number to be able to do a campaign.
Okay.
So once that happens, and we go back to here, and then I'm this will go is then when we get into, so we've gone through the user info, the user permissions, which is still something that I'm gonna update you on. User roles, which is either admin or user. It's another thing that I got to get straight from them. And then the call and voice settings. So you'll put in their name, whatever their name is right here. Okay. And then, or I'm sorry, this is the number. So you would pick the number that they're going to use.
Mm-hmm.
All these different numbers. Okay. So that's how you would pick the number for that particular person. And then their user availability is basically just, this is kind of important because you need to make sure that you have their time zone.
Okay.
Because if not, then what ends up happening is, and I'm telling you this because I've screwed it up. So I'm on the West Coast and most of everybody is either Central or Eastern. And so if they wanted to do a text blast at 8 in the morning and I set it up and I didn't change this and have a Pacific time, then it doesn't go out until 11 in the morning their time. So this is really important to make sure that you get this dialed in for them so that when they set their texts up and everything down the road, it works off of their time. Okay. And then whatever days and times, like I have somebody that only works like 3 days a week, so you could add them or just take them off. Okay. And then I don't do anything with the calendar. That could happen down the line, but if you wanted to, you could, and then you just hit save right there and save it. Okay. Got to save everything, or else you're really going to be kind of screwed. So, because if that's one of the other parts about that whole. Okay, so a couple things that I'd like to do for you guys, but I need to make sure that you guys are okay with it. Is there's a bunch of stuff in here that we don't need, you know?
Right. Yeah, that's confusing because it's like when I was doing mine, I'm like, I don't know like all this stuff, but I worked through it because I watched a video and it made sense, you know, but I'm like, what's all this extra? Do I need that? Or that's confusing.
Okay, so did you do, so here's basic, go ahead.
Well, I set up my own
okay.
REI reply because we thought that might be easier at first, you know, so I could kind of get the hang of it and kind of figure it out from scratch.
Right.
So
here's the way that I would do it going forward. So if you get on, because you're going to work off of this one though, right? Off of Justin's one? Yes. Is that the plan? Okay, so basically when you do a new campaign, you're just going to, so like Alan's, for example, if it's going to be a Zillow campaign, you open it up, and then what you do is you go over here. So it's already set up. Everything's already pretty much set up. So you don't have to build the campaign. It's already there. Right.
But on Alan's, for some reason, I don't know what's up with it, but Justin said that it's not sending out the text. It's not working right on that one. I don't know what's up with that, but.
Okay. So yeah, we figured that out here.
Okay.
But basically what you would do is you come over to here and you go actions. And then you hit copy campaign.
Okay. You know, I asked him if I could do that. I don't think he understood what I was saying, but that makes sense because I watched you do that on the video, basically. So, okay. That would save you a lot of time. Like,
then you don't have to redo the whole thing. And, you know, all that.
Okay.
Okay. So now we've copied that.
Okay.
Okay. You hit copy. Okay. So then now you go back to the campaigns. Okay. And then you go down to the copy that's usually down at the bottom. Where is it?
Is it that first one?
It's option copy. So you open that up. Okay. What you're going to want to do off the bat is make sure that you publish it. Okay. We're not going to do that right now, but if you don't publish it, it won't go out. Okay. And then all you have to do now is instead of redoing all the text is you just change the name.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay.
So you just hit edit and okay.
Okay. And then, so here's where I have gotten messed up a lot. Okay. Is the time thing so for some reason it's not in here. So basically that's it. So you really have to just go through these and just anywhere where their name is in there, change that.
Okay.
Okay. campaign configuration right here. So this is where it's probably messed up, I think.
Oh, okay.
So, okay, so his start time is from 8:30 to 11:30. So this is where it's, and here's the problem with his. See where it says add user?
Yeah.
No user there. So it just
Oh,
goes out into the middle of nowhere with nothing. So now that we put Alan in there,
gotcha.
now
Okay.
he has the thing. And then the next thing that's really important is the next campaign, which is going to be no response campaign.
Okay.
Because what happens, what you want to have with this is that if somebody doesn't respond,
Mm-hmm.
then it will automatically do the next text. But if you don't have a no response campaign next, oh, why is it not in here? But it should just be a straight no response.
Okay.
So basically what that is that if somebody gets a text and they don't reply, then then it'll be like they didn't respond, so the next day's text will go out.
Okay.
But it looks like for some reason that got deleted out of here, so I'll have to fix that. So basically it's going to be the select next campaign, which is going to be no response. Okay.
Okay.
And
Gotcha.
I got to go in there and build that campaign because for some reason it's gone.
Okay.
Otherwise, you're not going to get the next text. That's the thing. So,
Okay.
so this is where it's really important that we keep. So one of the things that's really important about this right here is these times. So if you were to set up a text blast, which is the next step after we do all this, if you set it up after 11:30 a.m., it won't go out because you're not in the start and end time of the campaign. So let's say you wanted to do the text blast at 12:30 a.m. or 12:30 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
It won't go out because the only working hours of this campaign are 8:30 to 11:30. So,
Okay, gotcha.
So this should really be like a long period of time, just in case, let's just say you do till 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because in the text blast, when you do the text blast, you're able to set out the exact time you want the text to go out.
Mm-hmm.
So that's that.
Okay.
And then we're going to hit save. And I do have to come back and fix that no response. That's why he's not.
Can you do that right now, or like?
I don't know.
So would you basically just start a new campaign and then name it no response?
So exactly. That's exactly what was.
Okay.
Right. So it was. Okay. They didn't have you do anything. It's basically just. Campaigns. I'm going to go back here. Campaign. Save. And we have an event. That matters. Hang on, I gotta make sure it's. I don't know what it's. And published. So now we can go back to that campaign. So we added user, and we're going to go no response. Change this again to that. Okay, so that's basically it. So here, if you were going to do, so basically just to quickly review this, you go through and take a campaign that's already running.
Mhm.
You do the actions, which is copy campaign, rename it, whosever name is on there or whatever, so you know whose it is. And then all you got to do in here is just change the names.
Okay, gotcha.
You can change the days and all that stuff if you want to change. So like, we just
So,
it
okay.
works good the way it's set up right now, I think.
Mhm.
But you know, once they kind of know what's going on, then they can sort of do what they want with it. Like if they wanted to go and have it go out. So like on mine, what I did to change it up a little bit was my second text, I had it go out like 36 hours later instead of 1 day. Like this says 1 day. So this goes out at the exact same time in the day when this one goes out. So, you know, when somebody's getting a text at 9 o'clock in the morning and then 9 o'clock in the morning at the same time, they get another text that's similar, you know, it's kind of like, hey, something's kind of weird about this, you know, but if you change it so that it goes out at 9 o'clock in the morning and then maybe the next day so what I did is I went like send after 36 hours.
Okay.
You can change the hours and stuff like that. So these are all small little details that, you know, if you just get them kind of set up to do the campaign and the uploading of the lists and all that stuff, then you're good to go. So okay, so that
I have a question real quick. So you fixed that one, or you made it to where, so would you have to go to each one of these and fix it and like put the user in or whatever, like you did like on the 1 day, you fixed the first one, the first message, and then
yes.
Okay.
So but you're gonna, so basically anytime you add a new person, all you're gonna do is you're just gonna copy as an existing campaign, like Alan's campaign,
right?
And when you copy it and you open it up, then you just change the name right here.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
you're able to just.
Okay.
Does that it make sense? So here's where you just hit edit.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Yes.
So was that?
Oh, okay. All right. No, you answered my question. Okay. Yes.
Very good. Okay. Cool. So, all right. So we're pretty good on campaigns then.
Yes.
How you feeling? You want to keep going, or you want to?
Yes. If you have time, we can keep going. It don't matter. Yes.
All right. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to triggers. Okay. So we come to here and we go to automation, and then we go to triggers. Okay. So you're going to do the same thing that you do for the campaigns that you're going to do for triggers. You're going to copy. There's a lot more to copy on the triggers though.
Right.
So let's see here. No.
That's basically however many triggers you want, right?
Yeah, I mean, the most important ones are you have to have the main trigger, okay, which is, I know he had kind of come in here and changed some stuff around, but let's see. You can do, let's go to reply triggers. So I use this one is pretty good. So it's 30 day. This is a good one to copy right here. Actually, either one of these two.
Okay.
So what I'll do right now, we'll set this trigger up, and I'm just going to set it up as I'm going to call it a main trigger, because it is what it does is it keeps all the trigger will automatically keep all the flagged words, you know, like stop and actually I need to do something. Let's stop before we go to triggers. I forgot there's something that we have to do first before that. Okay, so disengage from triggers right now. We're going to go to setting.
Pipeline.
Yeah, then we're gonna go to pipeline. So you know how to set that up already?
Yes.
It's simple. So you go pipelines, and then you're just gonna go create a new pipeline, and then you're gonna just put the person's name in there, right? And then the stages, which are however you guys like to do it. I have my way.
Right.
But first one has to be replied. That's the main thing, because the way the trigger is set up is it's going to do something. It's going to put it in the stage of replied if somebody replies. Okay. So, and then I do voicemail. You can name it whatever you want, but to a lead, active, and follow up. You can, like I said, you can do it, and they can do it however they like. So like some of my people that are on my team they edited this, you know, the way it was better for them, the way that it worked better with their brain,
right?
You know. So okay, so this, then I'm going to hit save. Okay, so the way it works with the triggers is that you're going to pretty much go. You're going to need the pipeline to be able to do the triggers. So if we go back to automation, triggers. Okay, so on this one, we're going to go reply triggers. I like this one right here, which is the removal of all words. I'm going to copy this. Great. And we're going to go back to the main, back to the triggers, and see if I can find that sucker. One of the other things that's a lot simpler too is to put these into folders, each person. So if you have a bond, basically all you do is you just, I'll show you in just a second. Okay, so here's the main trigger. So we're going to open that up. So this is where it goes into here. So it's going to be customer replied, REI replied. So the way it works is REI reply, the customer replied, they replied to the campaign. Okay, so this is where you're going to put in whose ever campaign it is. So what was that one you were just doing? That was copy. Can't remember, what was that? What do we call it?
Was it the first one on there? I'm not really sure, but there it is.
So what's going to happen is the customer replied. They replied to the campaign Zillow lease option copy. Then what it did after that is REI reply updated the opportunity. Okay, and then this is where we want to put that pipeline in. Okay, so it'd be MR pipeline, and then just select stage. When they replied, we're going to hit reply. Okay. And then we hit save. And then on the draft part, you know, we're going to just hit activate. I'm not going to do it now because we're not going to do anything. Okay.
So that one's done. Or
so
it
that's
would be
the
done.
main trigger. So copy this main trigger right here whenever you do a campaign.
Okay.
And then it's just going to be whatever their name is. So it'll be main trigger, whoever. Earl. I think you guys got Earl is coming on.
Yes. Okay.
You can just set this whole thing up like that.
Okay.
You can change this whole all this, like, go back into the campaigns and put Earl, Zillow lease option, do the MR pipeline as Earl pipeline, you know, all that.
Gotcha.
Okay, so the main trigger's done now. So now you're actually ready to do a text blast, but the thing of it is that you want to be able to do these other triggers
Yes.
to eliminate keywords. So basically what we want to do is, so like if we did, I think Alan sold. Okay, so basically you would copy this. Okay, so here's what happens. REI replied. They replied to the campaign. Here's where you change that campaign. So this would be Earl's campaign or whatever it is, or is this one? Okay, contains phrase sold. Okay, remove. The next thing is remove from opportunity. So basically, all you really need to do is just add the campaigns that you're in here or the pipelines. So you would use this to MR right here, or Earl or whatever.
Right.
Okay. And then all that's done, and then you just hit save, and then you're good to go. And so then when you do another one, so let's say you have another word, like it's like under contract, right? Is another one that's good. So all you do, you have your whole thing set up, but then all you do is you just change the word. Contains phrase under contract.
Okay.
And then you hit save, and then and make sure that you just change the copy.
So I can copy those two and just
you can copy this and just add all that to
and just change the names.
Yeah, just change the name.
And the
things you're gonna have to change. This is where it gets messed up a lot. Is you got to make sure you have the right campaign, and you got to make sure you have the right opportunity, because what will happen is if you don't change this, then all Earl's opportunities are going to go into Alan's pipeline.
Right. Okay. Gotcha.
So it's pretty much it there.
Okay.
And then let's go back to triggers. I'm going to show you how to do this folder thing. So you go new folder, and we'll go on. Save. Okay, now you can go down to all the Vaughn triggers. And you can, you hit this right here. Oops, my bad. You hit the little arrow. Okay. Move to folder.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Okay.
And you would just move it. Okay.
So.
Gotcha.
So on arrow, move to folder. Okay.
Okay.
And then that way, this will clean all this up, make it so much easier for you, because everything will just be in a folder. And then you can, if Vaughn needs to get in and do anything, then his folder's there. He knows exactly where to go.
Okay.
It's all right here. Okay. So, and you can just keep adding them into folder. Then it's going to clean this whole thing up, so you're not going to have. So what you really want to leave in this area right here, if you can, is the main trigger.
Okay.
And then probably a sold trigger.
Okay.
So that you can always go back and just copy it. And then change the names in the pipeline and the.
Gotcha. Okay.
And the and then save it. So. Yeah, that's about it. So that's the trigger. So the other triggers that we do also, which we don't have on here right now, but I like to add. So I would go on. Yes. Oh, yeah, okay. Save. So what I like to do here is I'll go choose this. Customer replied. Filter. Let's see if I can remember how to do this. Replied to campaign. Select the campaign. so we're gonna get rid of a lot of this stuff. Let's just go Ellen Zillow. Okay. Then we go out of action. Customer replied. Added. So what I like to do is I do maybes and yeses. So I'm gonna just do got a contact tag, and then the tag is gonna be yes. Okay. And that's it. Okay, so what happens is that if somebody say I'll copy another one and it'll be Vaughn maybe. So it'll be separate triggers, but basically when a customer replied with yes or maybe, you'll have those two tags. Okay. And then what happens, which is pretty cool, so I'll just go to my thing for a second. Let me again. So you can go to contacts, okay, and then in the quick search right here, you can do yes, and then see all your yeses come up. But anytime anybody replied yes, then now you can just go through and just call all the yeses.
Okay.
And the maybes too. So maybes do the same thing. So it just makes things a little bit easier to kind of go through. Or when they want to, we've got 95 maybes to go through. This is with 5 people on the.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so that's about it, really. So the only other thing that we need to do, which I think 45 minutes is about enough, probably. We can go through, and I actually on that video I do have it's pretty clear about uploading the list and doing the text blast, but I'd still like to go through that with you anyway.